About 20 years ago, and I know the back, I got a download of a book, and I sat down and for like 2 or 3 days, just wrote over 100 pages. Just came like whoosh. And then it just...
What led up to that? Were you reading Mad Magazine?
I don't know. It just kind of went away, and then...
Well, no, we're not asking why it went away.
Oh.
We're asking, what do you think was the reason that you hooked in with that? Well, if you can't remember that part, this question's not going to have any teeth.
Well, recently it came back, and I was driving, and all of a sudden the song came on, and it just felt like another download.
So it happened twice.
It's happened twice.
But your question was, why did it go away?
Okay. So how do I get it back?
Well, didn't you just say it came back?
Briefly, and then I sit down to write,
See
and it's almost like...
See what her perspective is? We really appreciate it. So where are you looking? Are you looking at the absence of it or the presence of it?
Maybe more the absence.
You think?
Yeah.
And so what did that feel like? You see her find the feeling place of that? So right now you are in alignment. You have awareness of what that connection feels like. So you want to foster that. This goes to the first question that we had today. Just don't do that thing you do that doesn't let it flow. And that thing that you do that doesn't let it flow always feels like negative emotion, like doubt or like fear or like worry.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And can I just say that I read the Sarah books this fall, which I adored, and I had kind of a whole story. I'm not going to tell the whole thing, but I was walking into Walmart, and all of a sudden that song, And Take These Broken Wings, came on from the 80s. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks, your work is healing all of our broken wings. And I just wanted to say thank you.
You're welcome, but none of you have any broken wings.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
You've just got them pinned to your side and you're walking around instead of flying. That's all it is. You're afraid to fly because people will call you weird and shoot you out of the sky.
I'm pretty...
No.
And one last little thing. When I was little, I've had dreams, downloads, intuitions, psychic moments.
But you've been connected to source energy a lot through your life.
And someone told me, and I just have this memory of this male voice saying, when you're older, I want you to go to an isolated cabin in the woods, and I just want you to learn how to walk through that wall. And back then, I didn't even know what vibration was or any of that. And since then, I've been like, I think there probably is truth to that we could reach a vibrational level that we could literally phase through something.
We're not going to disagree with you, but we do want to ask you, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? Teach others to walk through walls like there's no doors?
Well, vibration, I guess. I'm not sure. That's...
Really, is that the path of least resistance?
No.
There's a door right there. There's a door around on the other side of it too, but I'm so insecure that I need to take however long it takes to walk through the damn wall so that others can then adapt to the freakishness that is me. We love it when you walk through walls. We do it all the time. But someone left the door open at Esther's new house. There was a door that nobody needed to use, but somebody used it and left it unlocked. Someone who has what she calls a psychic mother, said that her mother said that a ghost opened it. And Esther said, okay. And he used a skeleton key. And Esther thought, this gets better and better and better and better and better, doesn't it? And then Esther's logical question was, why does a ghost need a key? And so you just cause more confusion than not when you start doing things that are... So Jerry's thought, and we're not trying to discourage you, because you can be or do or have anything that you want, but you want to know why you want to do it. And Esther's really hot on this idea. She's beginning to feel, because we've been talking about turning thoughts to things, and we've been talking about momentum and velocity, and she's been thinking about physics and science and velocity, and when something isn't slowing, in other words, momentum won't slow unless something slows it. And when you get out of the way and don't slow it, then things happen that are... Jerry's philosophy, which is the practical side of him, which he really enjoyed us speaking in more practical terms, is Put your basket out there far enough that you can hit it, but not so far that you can't. But close enough that it is satisfying, but not so far that it's disappointing when you don't. Well, that's well and good for you. But when you're a teacher, you want to meet your students where they are. And they are on earth, and most of them don't walk through walls. And when you decide that that's the group that you're looking for, it's a small little group. And they don't have a lot of success because that kind of alignment is really, 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 really. In other words, walk through some walls if you want to walk through some walls. But here's the thing. Do it path of least resistance. So tell us why you want to walk through walls. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really, truly, but it feels like
a good test for yourself.
Yeah.
And a good way to show off and a good way to get the attention of others. Just got to ask yourself, because your inner being is not encouraging that you show off. Your inner being is encouraging that you live happily ever after. Your inner being is not encouraging you to stretch the belief of capability of others. And so
I think of Jesus and that he saw someone healed and held that belief.
And then he said, go forth and tell no one. Because if you explain what happened to you to somebody who's not ready to hear it, they'll freak out. That's irrelevant. But they may very well talk you out of what you know. Now, you see, you received that block of thought. You received that question because that question is the perfect way for you to answer this question for you. And when you call something a miracle, we don't call deliberate creation miraculous. We call it logical. We don't call you getting what you want miraculous. We call it you tuning in with what you want, and the natural consequence of tuning in with what you want is that it comes to you. And so in absolute fairness to the important and accurate question that you ask, there is nothing off limits. You get to do anything. If this time-space reality can inspire a desire within you to do something or to have something or to be something, this time-space reality has the wherewithal to turn those thoughts to things. So don't take this as discouragement. Just know where you are and don't torture yourself unnecessarily about anything.
Well,
good?
I think that's amazing. Thank you.
Really good. Really good.